Good evening, gang. It's Wednesday night. Yes, welcome along to our Wednesday night titty chatty show, Wednesday the 19th of May 2021. Good evening and welcome to tonight's United Kingdom talk. I have my Union Jack, my Union flag jacket, and that'll upset all the leftists. Oh, why is he wearing that offensive jacket tonight? Oh, go and eat one, will you? We're not interested in your comments, dear. Hello, how are you tonight, all right? Hope you're well. We've got the Eurovision to talk about tonight. Have you got any memories at all of the Eurovision Song Contest? Have a little think, and we'll open the phone lines nice and early today. I haven't seen last night's semi-final because, of course, nowadays the Eurovision is in 3 parts, isn't it? We got the 2 semi-finals. I'm not sure how many people watch the semi-finals, except for those that are really into it. Now, I like it. I've liked it for years and years, but I'm not really... I can tell you some bits and pieces about it, but I can't tell you all these dates and things like that often people can tell you. I can tell you, I think it started... I've got it written down here. Started in 1956, which is even before I was born, the Eurovision Song Contest, and I think it was held in Italy, the very first one, with just like a handful of countries, just a few. And now it's this massive thing, and it would just used to be on one night of the year, on Saturday nights. For years it was on Saturday nights, but it got bigger and bigger, and more countries joined. And in the end, we are at the moment with 2 semi-finals and a final now, because there are so many people that, so many countries that want to take part. We've done all right over the years. Recently, no one votes for us anymore. They hate us. They hate it. They're going to hate us even more now because of the vaccines and the Brexit, even more than they did last time. And that is saying something. I do know, personally, one of the Eurovision singers, Nikki French, she represented us some years ago. Again, they didn't vote for her. No reason for that other than they don't like us. There was nothing wrong with that song. It was nice. It was bright. It was breezy. She's nice. She looked fantastic. And she kind of started... I was DJing at a place in Earls Court called Harpo's many years ago. And this lady came in. She says, I'm a singer. I'd like a booking. And I gave her a booking. And that's how we met. She was just starting then. And then years later, just imagine my absolute delight when I'm sitting in here, and believe it or not, I think this is about 21 years ago now. I think it was 2000 she did it. I think it was 2000. My delight of sitting there in the living room and suddenly seeing this lady that had walked into a pub that I was DJing at for a booking, which I gave her, and everyone loved her. And then a few years later, there she is, on this huge Eurovision stage in front of loads and loads of people. She's been around here. We did a little interview once, quite a long time ago now, before we had the high definition and all the stuff like this. And she came round here and we did a little bit of a chat. She'd promised to bring an apple pie round, but it didn't arrive. I'm most disappointed there was no apple pie. So that's what I'd like to talk about tonight, the Eurovision Song Contest. And if you want to call in, we'll open those phone lines nice and early for you this evening. Okay, 020 8144 3477. If you're watching on a chat box, if you're trying to send a message on Facebook, or you're in the YouTube chat box, I'm not in either of those, okay? To send me a message, please use the text number in the top left-hand corner, 07451 287 337, 07451 287 337, or you can give us a call. Phone lines open now, 020 8144 3477. If you're going to call us, you must send your number with your call, okay? I don't answer any of those that say, no number or something like that. So you must send your number at the same time. I was hoping to watch it this afternoon. I didn't watch it last night, because last night I went down to Central Station. Incidentally, if you want to go down a pub and watch it, loud sound system and all that, both the semi-final on Thursday and the final on Saturday, they will be showing at Central Station, okay? And believe me, it's loud. I know that for a fact, because I was in there last night doing a little bit of wiring downstairs. It's the main part of the pub that they'll be showing the Eurovision Song Contest, and I could hear it from down there, along with people banging their feet on the floor when they were when they got quite excited. They got quite excited, yeah. Last night I went down to the pub, Central Station, where we're restarting the karaoke on Friday nights. Can you believe I still haven't put the poster on here to show you? What an idiot. Still haven't put the poster on here to show you. But I went down there last night to do a little bit of wiring and test a few things down. They've got the most wonderful, brilliant new sound system down there. Wonderful. 2 new amplifiers, everything, new mics, everything. Everything is new. We've got a little ultraviolet thing now to destroy any coronavirus or indeed anything else on those microphones. I've often wondered over the years, some people, including myself, who have come down with a chest infection shortly after a karaoke night, has it come off the microphone? Because no one used to bother cleaning them. Never did. Never did. The only time you would clean a microphone is when some blooming drag queen had left a load of lipstick on the end of it. I know you used to get caked in lipstick. But, I don't think I've got one here to show you. I haven't got one here. Now and again, I would clean it like that. But we didn't do it as a sort of matter of fact. I mean, before we had the lockdown, those of you that watched the karaoke stream, incidentally, we tried that out last night and it worked brilliantly. So I'm hoping to do the karaoke stream for you on Friday night. All right? If it's not there, don't start screaming, can't see it, can't see it. Okay? It means something's not quite right. Remember, my mind has to be on getting it right in the venue. The streaming is secondary. It has to be right for the people that are in there. And if I can get the streaming going, and I did last night with no problem at all. No problem at all. Funnily enough, there's not much Wi-Fi downstairs. It does work, but not at the speed I need to send you a high-definition picture. However, I did it over the 4G. We got a really good, strong 4G signal down there, so I was able to tether. I think it's called hotspot. I was able to hotspot to the phone and bring you the pictures like that. We did do it last night. Okay, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. But yes, I was downstairs playing with the sound. Brilliant new sound system. There's also new lights down there now. There's also new lights down there. And they showed me the box. Dmx Lighting. I'm not good with that. Basically, it's like the computer version of analog lighting, if you see what I mean. I'm used to pushing a button, a light comes on, push it again, it goes off. Little slider on the thing to turn it up and down. With Dmx Lighting, it's all like push it. You have to program everything first. And I find it complicated. And there it was, the controller was sitting there. And I said, well, how's this work? Oh, the bloke who put it in said the DJ will know. I don't think so, mate. I'm old school. No idea at all. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this and I thought, oh no, it's the last thing I did. I had to put in a cable, like a HDMI cable from the DJ box to the telly on the far, which wasn't up, incidentally. The telly's not up on the far side of the wall yet. They promised me it will be up by Friday, but I've put the wire in across there, across the ceiling, and did that, and tested out the sound. And the last thing I do, I thought I'd play with the lights for a while. Anyway, I managed to get them on. And he said, well, the instructions book there. Oh, not an instruction book. I'm not good with doing stuff out of a book. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I need to be shown. Someone's got to stand next to me and say, right, this is what you do. Someone has to stand next to me and do that, Anyway, there was no one around, of course. The manager don't know. Lovely bloke. He's Guy. He's got long-term COVID, yeah. He had it quite early on. And he's constantly out of breath all the time. So he's having trouble getting up and down the stairs. He's much younger than me. Much younger than me. He's got blooming long COVID, hasn't he? Poor chap. So I sat down there on my own, listening to the Eurovision upstairs and the banging on the feet. And I got the book out and I managed. I can't believe I did it. I actually managed to get some sort of little program on this like, it's just a row of buttons. All it is, there's no screen, just a load of buttons, and you have to push that, turn that up a little bit, push that again to save it, and then you have to join them all together. And I did manage to get a little bit of a flashing going, red, green, yellow, blue, red, green, yellow, blue on the stage lights, slowly. So I'm quite proud of myself there, really. Quite proud of myself, and that's already. Because I was there, of course, I could watch the Eurovision while I was doing all that. There's no stage down there. However, I remembered the bit of wood that used to be under this is part of a stage, which I bought years and years ago for doing karaoke at various other venues. Now, I had the kind of legs to it. They're not like legs like that. They're kind of long bits of... I tell you, the stage is like 4 long bits of wood like that, which interlock together, right? Long bits of wood like that. And they've got little bits sticking up. And then you get the big bit of wood, like, you know, like that. And you just simply place it on top and it drops on stage. Fantastic. Wasn't cheap. It was about 200 quid this stage. But it's done me well over the years and it's all varnished properly. You know, it's not started going a bit wonky or anything like that. It's really proper hard wood, this stuff. And so I took that down the pub last night, although I couldn't get it out of the car because I couldn't park outside the blooming door. They got blooming cones out there. What is it? Clearway cones. That was a pain. So I walked around with my bags, but the stage is still in the car at the moment. Of course, so that's why I didn't see the Eurovision yesterday. Now, I was going to watch it this afternoon, right? And then talk to you about the semi-final this afternoon. You can ring in now if you want to and talk about it. 0208 144 3477. Did you see the semi-final last night? Did you enjoy it? Anything like that? Any of your Eurovision memories at all that you've got over the years? Give us a call. 0208 144 3477. But then for the radio show this morning that I do, every morning, there we are, that's that. When I do that in the morning, okay, so I'm sitting in here this morning, chatting away and playing my records, perhaps a little bit too much chat this morning, chatting away and playing my records. And I suddenly realised, of course, that the chair no longer moves because it's now directly onto carpet. And you don't really want a wheeled chair sitting on carpet, right? Because the carpet will last for minutes and then you'll start getting holes in it. So instead of watching the song thing this afternoon, I went down to Sainsbury's home base to see if they had any wood. Well, I know they've got wood in there. So I go to the back of Sainsbury's home base in Bracknell, and all this wood is there. And these 2 blokes came out, well, young one and older one, you know. Hello, mate. Where'd you do the wood cutting? Oh, he said, the machine's been out of order for months, mate. We can't cut wood. Oh, okay. And I got my measurements, which was 100 centimetres by 160 centimetres, I think I had. I didn't have a tape measure with me. And I'm like, oh, right. Okay, thanks very much. So they can't cut the wood. You know, now they got planks of wood like that. They've also got laminate flooring. You know, I thought, well, maybe I'll get some laminate flooring because that's in long bits, isn't it? And they just seem to click together somehow. Don't know if that would be any good. So I went over to the laminate flooring and they had these strips of various different types of laminate flooring. Very nice. But I think the cheapest one was like £24 for a box of 6 planks or 8 planks, something like that, which would have been perfectly all right. That's all I would need. You know, and then I've got the added advantage, well, maybe if I want it a bit wider, I just add one on or take one off and they seem to just click. What they'd be like directly onto carpet, I don't know, because I think they've got to go on a flat floor, haven't they? But these would be on carpet, because I don't, you know, obviously I'm not going to take up the carpet. So I looked at that and I thought, well, £24, that don't sound too bad. And then I went back round to the great big planks of wood, and these are huge, so we wouldn't have got it in the car. Wouldn't have got this plank of wood in the car. It's got to be cut up. So I thought, well, I can't have one of those. And I'm looking around. And then right at the front where the sawing machine is, that apparently doesn't work anymore and hasn't worked for months. I mean, how can you have something like that out of order? They must lose business. People used to go to home base because they know they chop the wood up for you. You just give them the measurements. It's a wonderful service, but it's not working. And then right in front there, I saw these planks of wood which look, not planks, but pieces of wood, you know, that looked about the right size. Now, so I didn't have a tape measure, so I went round to the tape measure section and borrowed one, you know, off the shelf. And I measured this wood and it was 100 across. I thought, okay, but the other bit was 120. But I'm looking at this piece of wood and I'm thinking, I think that might be enough. Anyway, so I bought it, and it's more... It's I don't know what it is actually. It's not. Do you know? I think it's MDF. Hang on, let me have a look. I think it might be MDF, but I pressed it, you know, and I banged it with my fist. I thought that does feel like it's strong enough. So I managed to get that in the car. It was blooming heavy. But get this, right? So I took it to the till, and I said to this girl on the till, and I said, so I've got that and some WD-40. Now, I got this on the advice of someone. Said, if you've got a noisy fader, put that on it, and it'll sort it out. And I bought this to do this. Then I looked that up on the internet, and they said, whatever you do, don't use WD-40 on faders. So I won't be using it on that then. Apparently, it's got oil or something, and it'll be the immediate thing is it works. But very quickly, it will end up worse than what it is now. So we won't be using that. And she said, has that got a label on it? I said, no, it was just laying in front of the thing. She said, okay. And she's looking at it. She says, well, it's got foot marks on the back of it. I said, yeah, well, that don't really bother me. You know, it's upside down. That bit's on the carpet. Doesn't bother me. A few foot marks on a piece of wood that's on the floor, you know. And she said, well, I can charge you the cut rate. Hang on, let me look it up for you. She said, how's £3 sound? Happy days. £3. £3. And this piece is 100 by 120. So happy days. And I managed to squeeze that into the car somehow. Brought it back here, brought it from the car, and it's now on the floor directly under me. I was concerned that it wouldn't be hard enough. Do you know what I mean? However, my wheels are going up and down over it. And so far, no dents in the wood. So I think it might be all right. It does feel pretty solid to me. I think with that sort of stuff, you don't want to get it wet. When you get it wet, that's it, mate. That's it. A little bit like the floor in a caravan that my brother-in-law and nephew had to sort out. Do you remember that? That when I was all sponging like that, all bouncing up and down on my piece of wood. So that's down on the floor. But that meant, of course, I couldn't see the semi-final of the Eurovision Song Contest, which I'll probably watch after tonight's show, actually. I'll probably watch, after tonight's show. That along with the other half of Holby City, which I've watched. Poor old Mr. Hendrick is self-harming, isn't he, at the moment? Self-harming, poor old Mr. Hendrick. So that's it. That was my day, really. So I've been busy today and busy last night. And because I was I was working last night. I was working. So I worked last night. I got to the pub about 8:30 and I left. The next time I looked at the clock, it was like 11:15. I thought, my God, that's gone quick. So I went to see my friend Chris, who's a DJ there, Chris Cross, because he had another ultraviolet microphone cleaner gadget. So once someone's used the microphone, you ask them to put them in this gadget, and it kills all the viruses on it. It's very clever, ultraviolet thing it is. And for double protection, we got sponges as well. So we take when someone's finished singing, we ask them to take the sponge off and put them in this device and close the lid. Okay, and that'll be in there for there's about 6 sponges altogether. So we leave them there and then we just change them over like that, and that'll work very well. You need to be cleaning the microphones properly, otherwise you don't want to pass blooming coronavirus from one person to another. I actually think they should have had those passports, really. You know, coronavirus vaccine passports to get in and out of venues, but they didn't go that far, did they? Unfortunately. And so there, and I drove home, and on the way home, I did something I haven't done for over a year. I stopped at the Esso, I think it's an Esso petrol garage, which is right at the beginning, just before the beginning of the M4 in sort of Chiswick. You come down and go around this roundabout, and there's a thing, and they've got a Subway in there. So I went in there with my mask on, and I had a nice vegetarian Subway. It was absolutely delicious, I have to tell you. Absolutely, a foot-long one of those, and a bag of crisps and a cup of tea, and I just sat there, because you can't sit in there at the moment. So I sat outside in the car eating that and watching the world go by in the petrol station. I mean, happy days. How the other half live, you know. It was wonderful. And I got back here, and I was already tired, and I got back here, and I was tired. And I was tired because I'd been to work, and my God, have I missed that. My God, I never thought I would miss something like that. You know, because whatever job you're doing, there's always going to be a little bit of a stress. And there was stress last night, a little bit of stress. Oh, am I going to be able to do these lights? Will this wire work? If I plug this in here, is the sound going to work? And there was a couple of issues I had to sort out. But I had been to work. And I came back here and I felt, you've done work tonight. And I went to bed almost immediately. I've come up here, brushed my teeth and went to bed. And I was out like a light, and I didn't wake up until 7:15 this morning. Wonderful. Happy days. Happy days. And I now understand people. I understand people who go into retirement, most of them forced into retirement because of their age. They go into retirement and they hate it. I thought I'd be all right. Last year when we had the lockdown and all my jobs stopped like that. They stopped like that. And I kind of got used to it a little bit. I thought, after a couple of weeks, I thought, this ain't too bad. I can now do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and all this business. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Tonight, while I'm doing this show to you, at the end of the show, I will be mentally kind of a bit drained, I suppose, really. But you quickly, it doesn't make you tired. It doesn't really make you tired. You haven't been standing up, doing stuff, pushing buttons, pushing wires in and things like that, having to deal with people. And there's a lot to be said for not ever retiring, I think. And certainly last night, I felt so good when I got back here that I'd gone to work and done something. Very, very different. That's me. I've always worked, you see. I know some of you are the same as well. Right, let's read some of your messages out. If you want to send a text in, please feel free. 07451 287 337, or you can call in 020 8144 3477. If you're in a chat box or you're leaving comments somewhere, I don't see those, okay? If you want to contact me, you've either got to send a text in, please, 07451 287 337, or use the phone-in number, 020 8144 3477. There's also a email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address, all right? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Let's take a call. It's Marc Jones on the line. Good evening, Marc.
Hey, are you okay?
All right, all is well here in the happy home of little Chris, yes. What about you?
Oh, lovely. Oh, I'm fantastic. I've just got home from a 12-hour shift.
A 12-hour shift?
12 hours, dear.
Oh, that's normal. Are you on Skype?
No, I'm on my phone. Is the signal rubbish?
The signal is rubbish today. Carry on, dear. We'll do our best.
Give me 5.
Do what?
Give me 5 minutes. I'll ring back.
Okay, yeah, call back in 5 minutes. All right, thanks, Marc. Here we are. We'll call back in 5 minutes. Pretty bad signal on there. So we'll come to him in a moment. Hello to George Bond, who says, I heard you swearing last night when you done a test on the karaoke. Well, that must have been very exciting for you, George. Wow. Radio presenter swearing. Wow. How awful. Gary Ross. Gary Ross says, hello, Chris. Gary, two tickets, Gary. 2 tickets, Gary. Actually, you say that. I've been thinking of doing... because it wouldn't cost much. All right? I can't do stuff that costs a lot of money anymore. At least not at the moment. It costs me a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Although you always send in lovely tips. Thank you, Gary. As always, thank you for your tip last week, okay? I'm thinking of doing a little raffle for these. Yes, because I had a lot of these done. For the bingo when we were doing the bingo, and of course we've stopped it. I mean, literally, I've got a load of these, and it's not too expensive to stick one of those in a first class with an envelope in the first class. So we might bring back a little bit of a raffle just for the stickers. All right, okay. Not tonight because I haven't got the stuff here. Funny enough, I haven't got my jars here either. I usually got the tickets in a jar, as you well know. And that both of the jars, I think, are up the caravan. So I don't have the jars with me at the moment. So, Gary, and you will... I hope you won't be asking for the 2 tickets, Gary, or I shall be most disappointed. Hello, Gary. Hello to Marc Bowles. Good evening, Marc. Let's have a little quick look at Marc to ogle at. We've got to have a bit of a lad look on here. I think a lot of the people are on here. Once they've seen your picture, Marc, they just go. They don't want to look at me anymore. Funny that, isn't it? I might actually have you printed off on the picture behind me. I think that'd be quite nice, don't you, Marc? Sort of on here somewhere. Just behind me there. A little picture of Marc on the wall. But, we could have viewer of the week or something like that. Viewer of the week, and there behind me would be a picture of you. Is that appealing to you, Marc? How's Tina, your lady? Is she all right? Your wife all right, dear? Not left her yet? Huh? At our wedding, Marc, can I request that we have just cheese and onion crisps for the buffet? I've just had a bag now, actually. Walker's cheese and onion crisps. Can we just have cheese and onion crisps for the buffet? And also, Mark, have you got many good-looking mates? Because obviously I'll need someone to talk to while you're comforting your recently ex-wife after you've dumped her for me. You know, while you're comforting her, I'll need other people to talk to. So perhaps if you've got some good-looking mates, they can come down as well. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it, Mark Jones, let's try Mark again. Hello, Mark. Nope, he's cut off now, is he? Well, we've lost that. He's not having much luck with his phone today, is he? Good evening to Vectis. Evening, Vectis, who says, "Hi, Chris, I didn't manage to listen to your radio show today, but are you all right? I'm a bit worried about your DIY cable fitting at the pub. Did you manage to do it without fusing the whole place?" I'm pleased to say yes. I'm pleased to say yes, but it's funny you should mention fusing. Right, it's funny you should mention fusing. I have an electrical question coming up for you a moment, boys and girls. I know one of the blokes I know the answer to that. Right, hang on a minute. Let's get Mark Jones. Hello, Mark.
Hi, dear. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you not send your video? Because that kind of takes my bandwidth up a bit.
Oh, I don't
Appreciate
know
that.
about
We
that,
can't actually
dear.
see you, dear.
I don't know how to do it.
Do you not know how to do it, dear?
No, I'm getting
That's
older.
better. Yeah,
I
you've
think
done
I've
it. You've done it. That's it. Lovely. Hello.
Did you not want to see my beautiful face? Hello.
Well, it's only me that can
And
see you,
I don't
dear. I know what you
sound.
look like already.
That's all right, dear. I only need one person to look at me.
Yeah, well, I suppose so, darling. I
it-
prefer a couple of hundred, but it will never happen. So carry on, dear.
And it's really nice that I don't. I'm muffled on the phone for a change
You
because I
did-
normally sound like I'm really down,
You
but I'm
dis-
not. I'm a happy person.
You disappeared then again. Say that again.
I don't. What did I say? Oh yeah, it's normally when I'm ringing on the phone. Phones do something to your voice that make you sound really down and boring.
Well, it depends who you are, to be honest. I mean, you sound dour and boring. So does Danny Davis. Now, he's on the radio, and
yeah.
yet when he rings me, he's as boring as hell.
Well, I've even put the proper microphone on.
Well, I can hear that. Get on with it, dear. What are you commenting on?
I can't remember. I've only just tuned in, to be fair, because I've only just come through home. I just wanted to check that George's mum's still here. No, Nan, and is the reef on order?
The reef. Why, has she gone? She hasn't gone to another planet, has she yet?
You may. I'm just referring to some comments you made the other day on the show.
Comments,
That there's
dear?
Yeah, there's a nice place near you that does nice reefs, apparently.
Yeah, Christmas reefs, that sort of thing. What did you think I meant?
That sort of thing, yeah, I suppose. But it's not Christmas.
Well, it soon will be, dear. 6 or 7 months' time, won't it?
I suppose she could have an Easter one.
An Easter? Well, too late for Easter, darling. That has passed. The Lord has risen. In fact, he's now ascended into heaven as well. You only got to ask Shania. That she'll tell you all about that. Christ the Lord is risen today. Hallelujah. Have you ever been to church on Easter? At Easter, every minute they say the word hallelujah. Every minute.
know.
So many hallelujahs, you can't believe it, dear.
I am a Church of England.
Ah, yeah, but you share a lot of the
CCC
same
member.
hymns. One of my favourite hymns is Hallelujah, Sing to Jesus. Would you like me to sing that for you?
Yes, please.
Oh, actually, I can play you my organ piece on that one, dear. Yes, that would be quite permitted, I think. Hang on a minute. Where are we now? I'll have to, is this going to work? That might work. Hallelujah, Sing to Jesus. Because it's me playing it, therefore, there's no copyright on that. Hang on a minute, switch account. Religious music and hymns. One moment. Thanks ever so much for your messages coming in today, boys and girls. I shall come to some more of those in a moment. Where is it now? Here it is. I'm going to find it. Hallelujah, sing to Jesus. Hallelujah, sing to Jesus. On my Religious Music and Hymns channel. Oh, I can't find it.
Lovely.
Oh, there it is.
I've just got a quick
There it is.
question.
190 views on that. That's a good one. Oh, that's high for me, dear.
Beautiful.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right, yeah, hang on a minute. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I think this is it. I think this is it. I might be wrong. Come on, play. Oh, it's not working. Hello?
Oh, dear. Hello?
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, dear.
Let's bring that up there and try that. What are you
Christ.
doing, dear? Stop moving around, will you?
Whatever you just played burst my eardrums through my head.
I haven't played anything yet. Here we go. 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 This is me playing. Hallelujah, sing to Jesus. Here's the scepter, here's the crown. I look very fat while I'm sitting there at that organ. I love that one, dear. Here comes the chorus, big chorus, big chorus. Here we go, here we go. Hark the songs of peaceful Zion, thunder like a mighty dread. Jesus out of every nation has redeemed us by his bread. And it goes on. I wonder how I finish this one. I usually do it loud when I finish. Hang on a minute, let's have a look, see if we can get along to that. Oh no, that was it, I think that was it. Hang on, 1 minute. Autoplay is off. What does that mean? That's enough of that, dear. Yes, there you go, a little hymn for you this morning. All right?
Evening. Are you still there, dear?
Yes, I'm still here. Waiting for you to say something interesting, to be honest.
Can you turn your echo off, please?
Is the echo on? Also, it is.
You'll be waiting a long time for that.
I've got the echo on there, yeah. Anything else to say today? Hello?
Oh, there we go. It sounds like we're just in a...
Anything else to say today? Get on with it. This is becoming very boring now.
Have I missed Daniel Woodhouse's call yet?
Daniel Woodhouse hasn't called yet. No, you haven't missed him yet, I'm pleased to say.
Damn it. Never mind then.
Well, Mark, have a lovely evening. Thanks for calling in.
And I hope you... Oh, bye then.
Thanks for calling the Golden Shop. Bye-bye, dear. Bye-bye. Do you know, he's absolutely right. He sounds as boring as hell this art tonight, doesn't he? Please try and sound a little bit more excited when you're talking to an international star. Please. Well, this is just not your run-of-the-mill phone call when you're ringing me. You're not ringing your nan or your mum. You're ringing me, international star. Look. Anyway, Vectis is there. Hello, Vectis. I'll come to the fusing story in a moment. I know someone's going to be able to help me there. Good evening to Cornwall Sparky, who made a little compilation audio thing he sent me. Hello to you. Chilling out with a wife tonight. Do send me her my best regards to your wife tonight. Hello to Ollie K. Hello, Ollie. He says, I might have to fly for a bit. Got to go and have my dinner, so I'll be here for as long as possible. Thank you, Ollie. Do feel free to join us back later. You know, you will probably have your dinner, watch several feature films on the telly, as well as a complete box set, and I'll still be here chatting. Don't worry, Ollie. I can chat for as long as you need, all right? Hello, Ollie. Evening to Amelia Phillips. Good evening to Maureen. Maureen. Tomorrow, I'm going to try and put the radio show on YouTube, okay? I don't know what will happen, but I have a spare YouTube channel. So if I get into copyright difficulties, that's the one that will be blocked, if you see what I mean. Or I'll get a dodgy mess, a nasty message, or you shouldn't be doing this, or something like that. So I'm going to use my spare YouTube channel. As you're watching this now on my channel, I think you can see the list of featured channels, okay? One of those featured channels is simply an S. It says spare. I know that you can see the karaoke one, and I know you can see this one. I think you can see the religious one as well. The other one I've got, it just says spare. It's spare, and it's just an S. So look for that tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, and you may or may not be able to hear us, okay? I'm doing this for you, all right, as you've requested it. So we'll see if it doesn't work. Fingers crossed. It might chuck me off. I don't know. I have no idea. I thought, just try it and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. All right, Maureen, 9 o'clock at that time. Hello to Andy. Good evening, Andy. Nice to see you looking very British. Well, we're ready for the Eurovision Song Contest here. That's why we're looking like this tonight. Yes, United Kingdom, nil point. That's what it'll be all night long from Johnny Foreigner. They hate us, dear. They hate us. Anyway, Andy says, hope the karaoke will be live streamed on Friday. We're going to try and do that, yes. I can't tell you how much I've missed it. Keep watching reruns of the old karaoke shows. Oh, you must have a very sad life, Andy. There must be something else in your life rather than sit there watching people singing months ago. You actually see a few dear people that I met over the years who are no longer with us. In particular, non-Irish Mary. You know, I was going to say that. Also, there's a lady called Gwen. You've got to go back a few more years to find her. And I expect some more of them as well. In fact, I heard that Claude is no longer with us. Those of you that have been watching the karaoke streams for years may remember Claude. He's a tall, very tall man with a walking stick, black. And he used to sing Rat Pack type things. You know, like Frank Sinatra, that sort of thing. I think he's left the planet now as well. So there we are. Hello to Adrian Richardson. Good evening, Adrian, who says, "Hi, Chris. Is it Saint Guys own It's Still Central Station?" Hi, Chris. Is it Saint Guys own It's Still Central Station? Try that again, Adrian. Don't understand. Do you have to book tickets or tables for Friday night? No, you don't. It's on the door. It's on the door, okay? It's £3 on the door and it's in the basement bar, okay? Now, I think people have rung up and booked tables. Whether or not you can save a place, I do not know. But it starts at 7:30. Of course, the numbers have to be strict. I think I can't remember what the limit is now. There is a limit on the amount of people we're allowed down there. And once we get to that, we have to shut off. And that's it. We absolutely stick to the rules down there with the amount of people there. It's table service. You won't be getting up and going to the bar or anything like that. I know that you don't sing, but if you want to sing me a song, we'll be using a text number. Just text your requests. The songbook is all online, okay? So you'll be able to look the songbook online of the available songs, which is about 58,000 songs in there now, I think. Something I did a huge buy-in thing in last year to update loads of stuff and all that. If anyone else wants to look at the songbooks online, you're welcome to do so. I don't have a text of it, but it's songbookslive.com/karaoke London, and karaoke London is all one word, and that's where you'll find my songbook, all right? songbookslive.com/karaoke London, and that's my entire songbook there. It'll come up as a blank page, and you get like a search thing. I think you can click on there, all songs, and then you can see the whole thing, or you can just search for a particular song. All right. Ollie's back at last. Hello, Ollie. He's back in house. Oh, how was your show? Didn't you do a show today? 5 o'clock, Ollie. I was asleep. I'm asleep usually between sort of 4 and 6. How was your show tonight, Ollie? Did you get any response, like people sending you little texts and things like that? I think it's always very nice for people to send various things like that. Let's just check your emails, gang, coming in this evening. Hello to Lee Toby. Good evening, Lee. He's looking forward to the karaoke. Yes, I hope to be able to do that for you. All right. Hello to Paul Copeland, who says, "Oh no, that's an email in reply to something else." Okay, I think that's an email in reply to something else. Yes, this is something funny. Oh, it's something else you've sent me. Okay, I can't play that at the moment. All right. Send me a message 07451287337 or call in 02081443477 is my local London number. Vera emailed in. She emailed. Sometimes Vera, she sees what's going to be on the show and she emails in before the show, which is always actually quite useful. Then you've got kind of an email to start the show with if need be. And Vera writes in and she says, "Well, what can I say?" She watched the first semi-final of the Eurovision Song Contest last night. The second one is tomorrow night, incidentally, 8 o'clock, BBC 4. Now, I was talking, actually, Vera. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, Vera. I hope you're with us. I don't know if you're with us tonight. You probably are. But I was talking to Chris, DJ Chris, on the phone this morning. Now, he watched the first semi-finals of the Eurovision last night on BBC 4, and he said there was an issue with the sound. He said it sounded like there was something missing. There was no oomph in that. Would you like a bit of an oomph? Marc Bowles, are you good at oomphin'? Are you very good at oomphin'? I do like a bit of an oomph, okay? You know, We do like a bit of an oomph. And Chris, DJ Chris, said to me on the phone this morning, he watched the whole thing, he said there was something wrong with the sound. There was no oomph in it. It was a bit tinny. So did you find that at all last night, Vera? That being said, Chris, he likes good sound. He's got a good sound system attached to his telly. I mean, a lot of money. A lot of money. He's not using like the TV speaker. He's got decent... In actual fact, he gave me his old one. And I've got that in the living room here. And it sounds amazing, I've got to tell you. That sound he gave me, the old speakers. Because when he don't want something, he gives it away. Same as me. I can't be bothered with all this eBay crap. I literally give stuff away. I've got a turntable. Actually, I took it up to the caravan and I didn't get rid of it for my nephew at the moment. An SL, a Technics SL... What is it called? An SL something, I can't remember now. DJ turntable that I've been sitting in the cupboard. It's been in there for years. It'd be worth a few £100, but I can't be bothered to sell stuff. I'd rather just give it away. And Chris does the same thing. Did you find that at all, Vera, if you're with us? Vera says, well, what can I say? I picked 7 out of 15, which I thought were good on the Eurovision semi-final last night. They were Russia, Sweden, Australia, North Macedonia, Israel, Azerbaijan, and, of course, Malta. Now, if you haven't seen this and you want to see this, I've got about 2 minutes of this email to read out. Just turn the sound off for a while because I think she tells you some stuff. So here it comes. The ones that did go through were a shock to me. Lithuania, I thought was okay, but nothing special. I can see why now it involves the devil, she says. Is she talking about the song there? I don't know. See, I haven't seen it. Norway, nice costumes, good songs. Good song and great lyrics. Belgium was boring. Ukraine, good dancers and good visuals. I wasn't really listening to the song, so that's what she said. Also, I found our presenters annoying. They don't need to talk over the other presenters if they are speaking English. I kept shouting at the TV for them to shut up. Now, I completely understand that. I'm not a fan of talkovers all the time. They get on my bleating nerves. Especially when you're watching some of this stuff on the telly, like Now, I don't watch Come Dine With Me. And one of the reasons I don't... Well, a few reasons I don't. But one of the reasons is the blooming voiceover bloke. Someone Lamb. I think Danny Drayton was telling me earlier. Something Lamb is his name. Apparently an actor. He sounds as camp as a Christmas tree. He's just blooming annoying. And it's the same with the Big Brother and all that business. None of these programmes I watch, I don't like their formats. Okay, I'm too old school now to get into anything like this. But these talkovers, and it's like they're just talking for the sake of it. A little bit like this show, let's be honest. I could probably I could probably get all the interesting parts of this show and squeeze them into about 30 seconds, to be honest. Most of it would probably be talking about Marc Bowles, wouldn't it, really? And his voice just gets on my nerves. He does the Come and Dine With Me. He does the Ibiza Uncovered. Magaluf Weekender he does. And I think he's doing something on BBC One now as well. He's got the most annoying voice. And they keep signing him up to be these blooming voiceover things. And they get on my nerves. So I understand where you're coming from there, Vera. Why would you be talking over a TV show when they're speaking in English anyway? Shut up. Shut up. I gather, well, as I say, I haven't seen it. I don't know who these presenters were, but I gather it's not Ryland Clark because he's not very well at the moment, so I don't know what's wrong with him. Anyway, thanks very much for it, Vera. You want to talk about the Eurovision tonight? Have you got any Eurovision memories? I've got loads written down here, so if you don't call in, I'll just go to my little list. 0208 144 3477. If you've got any Eurovision memories you want to talk about. Sherry's in the house. Good evening, Sherry. Sherry Parish in the house. Evening, Sherry. Good evening, Chris. We're in the caravan listening to your show. Say hello to John, yes. Hello, John. Don't let him have the phone now because it's after 8:30. He would have been on the old whiskey now, my love. Please don't give him the phone, whatever you do. All right? Yes, Vera is indeed there. So good evening to you, Vera. Did you notice anything wrong with the sound at all last night, Vera? I mean, I'm going to watch it on the iPlayer a little bit later on, but... I'll let you know what I thought. There's Vectis. Vectis says, I watched a bit of the semi-finals last night and the film was really tinny. Oh, so you're saying it as well then? So there must have been some sort of issue with the sound last night. It sounded like the microphone to give the sound from the audience were on, but the handheld mics of the figures weren't. How strange. Yeah, I know what you mean. A little bit like, you know, sometimes watching your news... Right? And they've got the wrong mic on. And it sounds like they're coming from the back of the room. You mean like that, don't you? How odd. The handheld mics of the figures weren't on. You and me know that getting sound right is quite an art, but you think they'd be able to manage that? Well, you do. I mean, of course, it wasn't BBC. It's coming out... Oh, where's it coming out of? Netherlands. It's coming from Holland, wasn't it? So it's coming from Holland. You would have thought they'd have sorted that out. Wow. I am surprised, very surprised. You see, the most important part of doing anything like this is this. It's not the picture, it's the sound. You've got to get the sound right. You can have a bit of a dodgy picture and people will kind of quite happily listen to it, you know. Talking of listening to it, is there a way of sort of putting this show out on smart speakers? How would that work? I'd like to look into that as well, because I know a lot of you aren't sort of sitting there, sat in front of your blooming tellies and computer stuff like that, ogling me. I know that, you know, some of you are doing stuff in the house as well while the sound's just on. I wonder if there's a way of getting this particular show just a couple of times a week on a smart speaker or something like that. So thanks for that, Vectis. Yes, well, I'll watch that later. Maybe on the iPlayer it might look a little bit different. I don't know. So I'll let you know how I come across that one. But memories of the Eurovision Song Contest. I've got a few. I always remember I think it was coming from Sweden. SVT, Swedish television, SVT. And there was a bit during... So all the songs had played, they had that little bit in the middle where they used to have... Now that's changed, hasn't it? The bit in the middle. You know the bit in the middle of the show when they have... It used to be like local people and things to do with that country. Now, more recently, they've started booking superstars, haven't they? They've had Madonna and they've had Justin Trouser Snake, haven't they? Is that the only two, or have they had anyone else? I think that's the only two. I don't know who we've got this year, but they've started booking superstars for in the middle. Well, I hope at some point we'll have Barry Manilow. Absolutely. We've got to have Barry Manilow. It's getting a bit warm in here now. Got to have Barry Manilow doing it, haven't you, at some point? Looks like we made it. Yeah. Rachel's sat there watching us on her phone. All right, Rachel? Rachel's on the old telephone. So you're sitting on the toilet. See, that's the wonderful thing, Rachel, about watching on a tablet or an iPhone. When you want to go, then you just take me with you. I don't have a problem with people being in the same toilet as some people. You know, there's been clubs I've been in, or there's been 5 of us in the toilet before. 5 of us in a little room. Oh, it's wonderful, dear. I highly recommend it. Yeah, so this one from Sweden some years ago. So that had happened, and then she comes back on the stage, and it's made to look like she gets her skirt or a beautiful gown caught, and it looks like it rips off, but of course it doesn't. Very clever. The Swedes seem to be really good at putting that show on. The Swedes. Very, very good indeed. I quite like... It doesn't happen so much anymore. Technical issues that stopped the voting coming in. Do you remember that? When that used to happen. It used to happen a lot more. I don't think it happens at all now. It's a bit too slick now. We like it when things go wrong, don't we? I know you absolutely love it when something goes wrong in here. Whether it's as simple as the mirror ball turning or the wrong date, or sometimes people say, oh, the clock's wrong. And it never is. The clock's never wrong. It's never wrong. Yeah, we used to get that a lot in the chat box. Don't get it now, fortunately. You know, it's too much effort. You've got to really want to send a text in, haven't you, to send a text in. And it's cut out all the bullshit, to be honest. It really, oh, the clock's wrong. And all that business. So technical issues that used to stop the votes. It used to happen years ago when it was just a phone call, wasn't it? Hello, London. Hello, London. Hello, Paris. Can we have your votes, please? And there'd be deathly silence. And the host, Angela, I think it happened to Angela Rippon and Jan Leeming, actually, when they were standing on the stage and there was nothing coming through. And you're kind of standing there not knowing. Now it works so well. You know, little videos coming in. Mind you, I mean, we know how far technology has moved on. I mean, look at this. You've got a high-definition picture coming from me, you know. Oh, it's just so... I just wish I had this when I was a boy. I think I could have gone on and... it's too late now. I could have gone on and done stuff. I think once you get to a certain age, you just don't want to learn anything new anymore. You just want to get on with what used to be, and of course that's not what most people want anymore. But that's how it is. I remember a group called Bandido. They're in Portugal, and they came on the stage, and something went wrong, and they couldn't hear any of the music. And they literally came on the stage, just music's playing, and they're looking at each other like that. And Terry Wogan was he was the best, wasn't he? Terry Wogan, wasn't he the best commentator? He didn't talk over people all the time for his own blooming ego. Oh, how we miss Terry Wogan doing it, you know. And he says, "Oh, I think something's gone a bit wrong there." And the music stopped, and they went off the stage and came back on again and did it all over again. No one could hear them. Oh, sorry, they couldn't hear the music, you see. So that's the thing. I was there. How many people can say this, right? I was there watching the Eurovision Song Contest when ABBA won. I was sitting there watching that telly at Mum and Dad's house when ABBA won all those years ago. Memories of the Eurovision Song Contest. Have you got any? Call in 0208 144 3477. I was also there when Bucks Fizz won. When they tore off those little skirts. I'm going to speed it up and then I'm going to slow it down. That one. Wonderful. I remember some of the sets. A particular set was when the show came from Germany. ADR, I think it is, German TV channel, something like that. And the set just looked like a giant electric fire. It was like, you know, these twisted yellow things. It was awful. I think our entry that year was I'm Never Giving Up by Sweet Dreams. I'm never giving up, not giving in. That one. Very, very good indeed. And they've had some wonderful sets over the years. And of course, as time has gone on, these sets have become magnificent things. Really. You know, to the old static, just a few painted bits of wood there. Look at it now. Massive great stages and lights, and a lot of it is green screen, which is where they put up green things, and they somehow with a computer superimpose whatever the design is for that particular number. Saves them an awful lot of money doing it as well like that. I mean, you would have got to have a real whiz kids on the computer working all that for you. But I mean, it looks amazing now. It looks absolutely amazing. Although I do miss the orchestra. They used to have an entire orchestra on the stage. And for me, the biggest change, and lots have changed on the Eurovision Song Contest over the years, the biggest change was removing the orchestra. And from what I understand, the reason they removed the orchestra was to save money. They don't have to pay musicians as much money if you can't see them. And I always thought that was an enormous shame, because for me it was part of watching it. You know, you've got your singer there, on the left-hand side would be the orchestra. Each conductor from the country would be brought on and made a bit of a fuss off. Our very own Ronnie Hazelhurst, he used to come on and start conducting and all this. I used to love seeing all that. Isn't it wonderful to see an orchestra on the telly? Or in real life, of course. I mean, I've been to the Royal Albert Hall a few times to see only classical concerts, proper classical concerts, well, you know, I've been to Last Night of the Proms. Very, very lucky to have seen that a few years ago. Oh, what an atmosphere. What an atmosphere that was. I've not yet been to like a classic rock concert. I'd like to see that. You know, when they do pop songs, they do have something going on at Windsor in August, where they've got like an Ibiza type concert. So they take like old rave tunes. Fran Green would love something like that. Fran, she would love that. They have a big orchestra on the stage. Someone like Pete Tong or someone like that, you know, DJ, and he comes on with his orchestra, and they literally play Ibiza 90s club anthems, you know, like Faithless, Insomnia, Brothers in Rhythm, Such a Good Feeling, that sort of thing. I have a few singers on. Oh, it looks fantastic, and they got that happening in Windsor. Actually, there's something else happening in Windsor I saw. Big time soul DJ, Black. What's his name? Radio 1. Begins with G, I think, possibly. I've seen him advertised as well. And there's, again, that's at Windsor. All soul stuff. Luther Vandross, obviously not there, he's not with us anymore. But a DJ there, plus some artists as well, although they haven't told us who the artists are yet. They probably don't know, probably haven't signed them up yet. I'll wait to see how much interest there is, I suppose. What's his name now? Vera, what's black DJ, round about 60 years old now. Has been, I don't know if he's still on Radio 1 for years and years and years. Soul DJ, who's that? He was also on BBC Radio London in the 80s, I think. 80s and 90s. Trevor Nelson, that's it, Trevor Nelson. He's going to do something at Windsor as well. I should go to these things, shouldn't I, really? But the only thing is, it's on a Friday night, which is the same night as the karaoke. You don't want to be sort of taking time off when you've just started the damn thing up again, you know. In August. It's in August, you know, which is a couple of months away, but still, I wouldn't take time off for that, not yet. Let's have a look. I mentioned Nikki French to you, of course. She's a lovely lady, Nikki French. One of my favourite songs for the UK, really, was one by a girl called Imani. She was a little girl. Beautiful dreadlocks she had, and the song was called Where Are You? Actually, I might play that for you tomorrow morning. It's a nice song to listen to. I was lost in the where are you? Where are you now? I love that one. I think she got close to the top, that one. That was back in the 90s, Imani. Where are you now? So there we go. There are proper Eurovision fans out there, and they could sit here and I could ask them any question at all about the Eurovision and they'd be able to answer you. Really. I generally used to like the winners. Not so much now. I thought the one from Israel, Toy, was it Toy? The little girl with the long hair, really odd it was, Toy. And she had those Chinese monkeys, didn't she, behind her? What are they called? Nodding monkeys or something like that. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. You know, I haven't been so keen on the winners recently, except for, what's that one I won a load of money on? What's her name? Rise Like a Phoenix, Conchita Wurst. That was the last winner I really liked, to be honest. I haven't liked the other winners. Oh, and that Swedish, this good-looking Swedish bloke. Oh, he always pops up now, doesn't he? What's his name? The good-looking Swedish bloke. There we are. All right. Okay, gang. That's our Eurovision little chat today. Now, here's a question for you, Vectis, as I mentioned it. Fusing. You mentioned fusing. I got a question here. I think I know the answer. Do you remember the problems I had with two ovens? Do you remember? I had two Hoover ovens and a clock kept resetting. The first one, sent it back. Second one, sent it back. I've now got a hotpoint oven. Okay? Today, the clock reset. And actually, it happened again a few days ago. Now, I'm now thinking, and please don't tell Hoover this, for God's sake. I'm now thinking it wasn't the oven at all. I think I got a little bit of a problem with my electrics, and here's what I think. You'll tell me if I'm thinking the right lines here. Now, when I was at the caravan, you remember some time ago, two and a half years ago, I used to trip the electrics there. And it would happen when I was... No, actually, the first time it happened, it was because I was drawing too much current, okay? Because it's only got 16 amps coming in there. Put a kettle on and two heaters. That's it, right? Anyway, once that happened, it kept happening. It just kept doing it, okay? Until that breaker was changed. Now, I have a really old fuse box downstairs, okay? They're big buttons, and they're all... It's not a fuses, not as in fuses with little bits of wire, which is, of course, what we all used to have. This is a very old fuse board with the buttons, big, thick buttons, all down, all on, okay? Here's what I'm thinking. Could there be a fault with that breaker, so when there's a sudden draw of power, it's failing, and it needs the breaker changed? That's what I'm thinking. right? Because I noticed today it happened when I opened the oven. When I closed the oven again, of course, it would have cooled down and then suddenly drawn a load of power. That's when it went off. And it's the same time it went off the other day. It can't be a third oven that I'm having problems with and a different manufacturer. There must be something to do with the electrics. Either that or the main button on the wall, you know, the big red switch. Could it be that? Could I be right? It can't be the oven again. In which case I'll have to get a bloke. I don't really want to get a bloke in. I've got to put up with it for a while, a couple of months, till I get some money back in the bank. But is that what it could be, do you think? How can it be that a third oven giving me problems? I'd have to be blooming unlucky if it was that. What do you think? Could it be a dodgy circuit breaker that needs... I've identified the circuit breaker in there. You know, it says cooker. And it's a big, thick old switch like that. Would someone be able to change that, like an electrician? Or they're gonna. I know what they're going to happen. They're going to come around. Oh, it's not up to standard anymore. You're going to have a new circuit board. Oh yeah, another 300 bleeding quid down the drain. Well, not down the drain. Of course, it's quite necessary thing. Of course, while they're there, I'll probably get them to check out the wires as well. More expense, dear. What do you reckon? Anyone know the answer to that, please? Let's take a call. Good evening. Call finishing 76. Hello, who's that, please?
It's DJ Sparky.
DJ Sparky is in the house. Dun, 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 dun. Reach on air.
I've just sent you an email with a surprise on it. You'll find out later.
What'd you say?
I've sent you a surprise over in an email.
A surprise? Oh, has it
Yeah.
got muscles and tattoos?
No, it has not, no. Your electrical problem,
Yes.
right? You need to see what the wattage of the oven is
Yes.
and do Ohm's law.
What's that then?
You can't go to Google later on after this, whenever you're free, type in Ohm's law, right? And then put the wattage of your oven in there, and then put your power supply of 230V,
Yes.
and then it'll come up with what your MCB should be, and then it will tell you if it's tripping out.
Ah, yeah. Could there not just be a fault on it? I think it's going to be a fault on there, isn't it?
Yeah,
'Cause the
but
other
on
one-
MCBs, if it's a power trip,
Yes.
it's going to be caused by the oven going past the rating of whatever the MCB is rated for.
Right, but could it not be the little breaker that's faulty?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the MCB.
Ah.
That's what it's called, the MCB.
Right,
It's like
right.
It's like a little lever on the front of it. When you put it down,
Yes.
it's on. When it goes back up, it's off.
I think the lever says 30 on it. Does that sound about right?
So average one is about 30, or depends on what wattage your oven is.
Right.
So it depends on what wattage your oven. Because if it's putting 100 watts and it's not, and your Ohm's law saying it's 150 watts, right? You'll trip the MCB.
No, that doesn't mean anything to me at all.
I
You,
know, but I can do it
you
for you.
sound
So
to
if you let
me...
me know what the wattage of the oven is, I'll do it for you.
Well, but it was working before. The other one was working before. I can't
Yeah.
believe that this one is any more watts than the old ones. They can't
crazy,
all... They can't... It's got to be the right one there. It says cooker and it says 30. So it's
Yeah,
something to
it's
do
just
there, I'm
sometimes it could be
sure.
I reckon it's the MCB. But anyway,
Yes.
nice to be on the show. And like I say, I like to watch yours at YouTube in the evening.
Yes.
The wife is next door to me.
Is she? Does
Yeah.
your wife work? What does she do?
No, she's epileptic. She's got learning difficulties.
Okay.
I care for her 24 hours a day.
Right, okay. What's her name?
She's here. She'll say hello.
What's her name?
Hello there, mate.
Hello, darling. All right, my love?
Say hello.
I'm fine, thank you. For you?
Hello. Yes, all well here. At least it's not so cold now. I don't like the cold weather.
No, I don't like the rain either.
I don't like the rain. Great song by Eruption. Play it tomorrow morning, Sparky. Are you here tomorrow? No, it's
Well, have a wonderful show. And like I said, if you need any help with the electrical side, I can help you.
Thank you very much, sir. Cheerio, Sparky.
Look after yourselves. Speak to you in a bit.
DJ
Bye.
Sparky in the house. Thank you, Sparky. Very kind of you to assist me there. So it's talking about Ohm's law or something like that. I don't know. I don't think I need to start checking numbers and things like that. I think I'll just get a bloke in. It's much easier to do that, isn't it? You know, I don't know what I'm doing, dear. No idea at all. Rachel says I'm sat here. Oh, sorry, I've read yours, Rachel. Paul also says DMX is fun. It's not fun. It's not fun because I can't damn well do it. We're talking about lighting stuff here. At first you lose your mind, but if you think what each button is doing, then you can work out patterns for lights. Plus some DMX software on the PC comes with pre-installed patterns. Oh no, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially if you don't want to blooming do it in the first place. I just want to push a button and lights to flash. Why have I got to program the damn thing? You know, and you say it's got like pre-installed patterns. Well, maybe you can't just plug it in and then push that and it works. It's got to be set up, isn't it? Oh, so much hassle. It was so much easier in the 80s, dear. Just a miracle. That's all we need, a miracle. Hello to Paul Brown. Hello, Paul. Kiss, kiss. Mwah. You all right, Paul? He says, speaking of Israel, absolutely loved Dana International. Oh, yeah. Viva la viva, viva la diva, Astrovida, something like that. I think she was talking about the old AstraZeneca virus vaccination thing, wasn't she? Viva la viva, AstraZeneca. That one. She was way ahead of her time. 96, sort of, I think. I don't know. Loved it when Dana International, when she won in 1996. Here we go. Diva, in fact, I remember requesting you play it so I could dance on the stage at the Black Cap. Yes, I remember. Do you remember when she won the award? She was pissed. She was absolutely pissed out of her head, wasn't she? Do you remember? She came up to collect the award and fell over. She was so drunk. Very unprofessional. There's no drunkenness on here, dear. If you want to see or listen to drunk people on the internet, have a listen to Ross Patzel's Reach on Air show, Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much. George Bond said, I'd say it's your fuse box. Thank you, George. I think there's a fault in there, which is a shame because I'd like the Hoover oven back now. One of those things, isn't it? One of those things. Thanks very much for that. 0208 144 3477. I'll just check your emails. I'm trying to make sure that I check emails regularly because I know I don't do that enough. And sometimes people send an email and it's there. Paul's just Googled it. Oh, it's 1998, was it? Oh, not as long ago as I thought. I thought it was 1996. Viva la diva. Da, da, da. I like... I think that's on the karaoke system, that one. Da, da, da. Oh, that's what they'll be doing tomorrow night. Karaoke songs. Do you know one of my karaoke songs I do was You and I, we have a dream to fly. Wonderful dream, beautiful dream. Don't let it die. There's always people trying to kill your dreams, aren't there? Don't you find that? Telling you that you're rubbish at something or something like that. Even when they mean it in a jesting way, it does start pulling you down something. But always people trying to step on your dreams, isn't there? Do you find that, anyone? You know, telling you you're rubbish at this, that and the other. I know a few people like that, believe me, my loves. Righty-ho, jealous people, darling. Jealous people, that's what they are. Okay, what else have we got on the show today? Let's have a little quick look there. Do you use Deliveroo or Ubereats? Do you use either of those? Now, my mate uses them. He uses those. And I'm always quite astounded when you're quite happy to pay £4.99 to have your dinner delivered to you. You know, when you can just as easily get the car out. It's not going to cost you £5 to go to collect your food or whatever. I mean, all that... You know, I said to you last week, I was buying too much McDonald's. I don't know why. For years and years, I've never gone to McDonald's. And I just started... Actually, it's probably... Now, what's caused that? Two things. Him and his other half at the time, they were always there. Whenever I go, oh, we've got you a McDonald's, or it's your turn to buy a McDonald's. Or when I'm at my nephew's house, sometimes we go out, but that's not often. You know, it's once in a blue moon we go out to McDonald's or the Burger King or something like that. We wonderful memories actually of just simply going to Burger King. We used to get in Gary's fun bus. He's got like a big disabled bus for the little girl Olivia, And we all used to pile in there just to go to Burger King. We'd get in there and just sit at the tables. Little great nephew Harry and great niece Evie, they have the crowns that they give you, the paper crowns. They'd be sitting there with these on, sitting in there eating our burgers and that. Happy times, happy times. But as I said to you, for some reason I started doing one a week, one a fortnight. Remember, I started one a fortnight, then it became one a week, and that I did like 2 or 3 times last week. And I'm thinking, no, that's wrong. And then you add up in your head how much you've just spent a week on blooming McDonald's. It's all right once a week, and then well, it's 30 quid. You get 2 bags of shopping from Aldi for 30 quid. Not in Waitrose. I went there yesterday, didn't I? I had about 6 items in my bag, and it was 25 quid. Sorry, won't be going back there in a rush. God blimey, you don't know if I've noticed that. If you've been shopping at Aldi or Lidl, and suddenly you go to Waitrose, Jesus Christ, I thought I was going to have to sell the house. Huh? Anyway, sometimes they do a free delivery, and I'm not quite sure how they make money off the back of that, really, but they do. And now and again, my mate says, should we get McDonald's? It's free delivery tonight. I don't know how they make money out of that, because I thought their money was the delivery. I suppose, really, £5 for someone who's gone to collect your dinner, that does actually sound reasonable, doesn't it? Someone has gone to a restaurant to collect a bag of food that you're too bone idle to go and get. Unless, of course, you've got medical reasons for not being able to go and get it. So £5 for that person doesn't sound bad. It's just, if you're buying like a McDonald's, 10 quid, it's just for you, and another £5 on top. Well, that's half the money again, isn't it? It sounds quite a lot to me. So do you order stuff from Deliveroo or, what's the other one again? Ubereats. Do you use those services much? I would imagine you do in London. What about you, Vera? Do you use Ubereats or Deliveroo? Funnily enough, while I was parked the car last night, and I had to park down one of the side roads because there was no room outside the pub when I was doing a bit of work down there. And when I went back to the car, it was about 11:15 at night. To be honest, it's not the sort of place you want to walk around late at night with 2 bags of computers, you know what I mean? But that's how it was. I got back to the car, I've opened the boot. As I opened the boot, this door opened. I thought, oh Christ, someone's going to come out and beat me up now and grab my computer bag. There's a lad standing there, youngish, looked kind of Korean. And I saw him come out the door and said, oh, hello, mate, I'm just parked outside your place here. He said, yeah, that's fine. And he spoke. I said, you American? He sounded American. No, he's from Korea, because of the whole eye thing going on slightly that way, And so I had a little chat with him, but I talk to anyone, especially when I'm out. Absolutely talk to anyone, I do. And having a little chat with him, and while he was there, up popped this little motorbike. He'd obviously come out to meet the Deliveroo bloke, and met him there and opened a little bag on the back, handed him a couple of bags of food, and that was his dinner. I'm thinking, how lazy must you be to just be ordering this stuff? I mean, maybe he only orders it once a month. I don't know. Can't judge, Or maybe he does this 2 or 3 times a week. And you could end up with delivery charges of like, I don't know, £10, £15 a week. Isn't that a lot of money? £60 a month? 660 per £720 a year? If you're doing that 3 times a month? It's a lot of money. You can go on holiday 2, 3 times for that, can't you? But there's a story here in the Daily Star. A woman has been left stunned after she tried to order a £20 takeaway and found that the restaurant tried to charge her £130 to deliver it. Wow. Don't forget, gang, if you're sending me a text as a comment on Facebook or in a chat box on YouTube, I'm not on either of those two. You need to send us a text to join in with me, okay? 07451 287 337, or you can call in or use the email there, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. That's how you get your message to me, all right? I'm not in any sort of comment box. £130 to deliver this food. This woman says she couldn't be bothered to cook a meal after a long day at work. Now, you see, that's the other thing. They go on about this. Can't be bothered. I've had a long day at work. Can't be bothered. What? You can't be bothered to open a can of baked beans and put it on a piece of toast? Or to get some frozen veg out and stick them in the microwave for 10 minutes while there's a couple of burgers under the grill? You can't be bothered to do that even. I mean, how lazy must you be? I say that and look at me ordering McDonald's. Well, I don't have them delivered here. I've never done that. My mate, if I'm at my mate's house, he'll do it. 3 times a week is far too much. Far too much. This woman couldn't be bothered to cook a meal after a long day at work, so she fired up Deliveroo and spotted New Thai Kitchen in nearby Barking, East London. Where was she then? It says nearby, so she can't be that far away. Let's have a look. The delivery address was about half an hour's drive away. So the order was 20 quid. The £20 takeaway, the restaurant tried to charge her £130 to deliver it. I mean, you could even go shopping in Waitrose and get some decent food for that, dear. It's madness, isn't it? Why are you having this stuff delivered? I mean, if you can't be bothered to cook yourself, go and get a frozen takeout meal or something like that. There's plenty of those in the supermarkets now. You haven't got to lift a finger. Just take a little bit of plastic off the top if you need be. Her midweek treat was a pumpkin cat soup. Oh, I hope it doesn't contain real cats. Talking of cats, Gary the cat. Oh, I'll make you laugh now. Gary the cat. I try not to let him into the house, right? He comes into the kitchen, but not into the rest of the house, right? But he's got this habit of trying to jump in the little gap in the door when I go into the house and leave him in the kitchen. And he did it today. Come on, Gary. And he knows he shouldn't be in there. And he tried to run and I got him, right? And I'm trying to pick him up. His claws were... I was trying to put... The carpet's coming up with him. He's holding on for dear life onto this carpet like this cat. Come on, let go, I'm going. This cat won't come off of the carpet. Anyway, back to this story. Her midweek treat, a pumpkin cat Sue Carry deluxe box, which didn't contain cats. I'm quite sure about that. And a bottle of, a cat Sue Carry deluxe box, a prawn dumpling soup, and a bottle of sparkling water came to a total of £19 and 99 pence. Right? But then I've just had a load of text come in suddenly there, which I'll come to in a moment, okay? I don't know if they got stuck somewhere. Possibly they got stuck somewhere. I've just had a load of text shoved in there. How strange. I'll come to those in a moment, okay? But then came the surprise. Alongside a delivery charge of £9.99, which was about half the cost of her Wednesday supper again. You see, even with that normal fee, she's another third is the delivery price. I can't believe people are happy to pay £10 to have their food brought round, but they are. Loads of them. Otherwise, these companies wouldn't exist. It's a hell of a lot of money, I think. Then came the surprise. Alongside a delivery charge at £9.99 was about half the cost of her Wednesday supper again, was a mysterious £1 service fee and an absolutely incredible £130 and 5 pence small order fee. She promptly bowed on her new Thai kitchen plan and decided to heat up a pizza in her oven instead. While she was enjoying her pizza, so she didn't go through with it, okay, Algeria tweeted a screenshot of the outrageous £160 and 99 pence figure from her delivery shopping basket, immediately getting a huge reaction from fellow social media users who called the crazy bill nuts and pointed out that was her twice the monthly cost of her hostel accommodation. So much money. But the restaurant were unrepentant. They said it was fair. A spokesman from the new Thai kitchen called the order fee justified because the distance it takes to deliver to this lady in nearby Islington, which Google Maps estimates would take between 28 minutes and 1 hour at that time of night. Gosh. They added that they call each customer if their order is subject to a large charge, fair enough, to confirm that they'd like to go ahead with the delivery, and added that they believed the bill was justified. They said, as a service provider, we have a certain distance that we cover. If the order is beyond that, the minimum amount has to be so much. The customer has the right to cancel the order, which, I mean, I would do straight away. I tell you, if I was ordering something and the delivery fee was over £4.99, I wouldn't have it. I mean, I might as well just walk down to the co-op. It's 10 minutes there, 10 minutes back. I mean, how much effort does that take? Unless, of course, you've got something wrong. Maybe you have trouble with walking, or you're ill, or something like that. It's outrageous, isn't it? The owner has set up a minimum order with Deliveroo, so if it's out of her range, the minimum order has to be a certain amount. That sounds a hell of a lot of money. Have you ever had a sort of expensive delivery fee like that at all, have you? Do you order stuff? Is it a regular thing for you? And I can't believe that people have got so much money that they can spend £5-10 having stuff delivered. I don't even have my supermarket stuff delivered. I mean, I did it for a while when the pandemic was at its worst, when we didn't really know how we could catch it and how we could protect ourselves. This shopping used to come in here, I'd take it all out and spray it down. I was terrified. We know a lot more now. I still spray the shopping, but we know that if we wash our hands and all that. I know they told us that at the beginning. Got the mask on. I've even got that little spray stuff goes up your nose. We know a lot more now to avoid it, don't we? Let's have a look here. Good evening to Rachel. Evening to Rachel. Sitting there watching on her phone. Evening, Rachel. I've said that to you already, haven't I? I said hello to you. I said hello to you already, haven't I, Rachel? Good evening to 8:15. Hello to you, 8:15. We just use this method of contacting the show now, 8:15. I hope you're well, sir. Just a reminder, gang, if you're in a chat box of any sort or you're leaving comments on Facebook, I don't see those. To contact me, please use a text number at the top there, or you can call in 020 8144 3477 is the phone-in number, or text in 07 451 287 337. Mandy Davenport in the house. Conchita Wurst, Rise Like a Phoenix, 2014. That was lovely, that, wasn't it, eh? Rise like a phoenix, out of the ashes seeking love and adventure. £400 I won on her. Yes! I've won £400 on her. Not bad, is it, eh? I was as soon as I heard that song, I thought that's the winner, and I went and put some money on it. I have put money on it in recent years. It's the only time I have a bet for the Eurovision. How sad is that? It's the only time. Actually, I've got a £20 credit in one of those betting things, which I might use on Saturday, actually. But I will need to know what the songs are first. I have no idea what the songs are. None of them. Only our one. I think our one's really good, but it won't win because no one will vote for us. Fran says it's definitely your electrics. 3 ovens can't be a coincidence. I don't think so either. No. I don't think so either. Someone sent in a message finishing 69. Oh, it's Vera. Hello, Vera. Vera says, I don't use either of them. I go and get the food myself. Absolutely, Vera. Let me just add you there, my love. Is this another one of your numbers, is it, my love? Okay, I'll just add you to that. Vera! There we are. I've added you, Vera. All right, my love. My other phone has fouled. That's why I'm sending text from this number. Thank you very much, Vera. So none of you do Uber or Deliveroo? Are you all cooks? Eh? I don't know if I don't think out where my nephew is. I'm not sure that they have Uber or Deliveroo out there. I think we've got them here. I think it just basically there might be a little business there for someone actually. You know, if you're up sort of where my nephew and my sister and all that live up there, I think I think it's just a case of registering that you want to be an Uber delivery driver. If you're the only one up there, surely you'd be quite busy, I would imagine. You know, I don't know if my nephew and order stuff, actually. I don't know if they do order stuff for delivery there. Anyway, that's the old Uber story for you tonight. A new way to punish someone, boys and girls. Now, you're going to have a strong stomach for this one. It's another story from the Daily Star. Okay? A man has been strangled to death. This was a punishment, incidentally. A punishment. It's happened in Russia. Ready for this story? A 16-stone Russian woman allegedly killed her husband, who was strangled with her buttocks. After she sat on him during a row. Oh, what a way to go. Do you reckon Gemma Collins used to do that to Arj? When she couldn't get away, she'd sit on his face. This lady, Tatiana O, was charged with murder after refusing to let go of her partner, Adar, until he begged forgiveness, it is claimed. The man's daughter saw her father pinned face down on the bed and ran to seek help from neighbours in Russian city Novokuznetsk, according to evidence in the case. What a way to go. Suffocated by someone's arse. Oh, no. A female neighbour came in but decided it was a domestic dispute which the couple would solve. It was reported. I think we're just going to stick to the lashing, to be honest. If you're that bad, I will send round Gemma Collins to sit on your face. And you will suffocate. You just imagine it, all that... Oh, no, dear. Tatiana said she warned him to calm down after the pair had been drinking. And the story goes on here. Soon afterwards, it's alleged, Adar died and the woman screamed, leading to the neighbour rushing back. The neighbour called an ambulance, but the common-law husband was pronounced dead at the scene. Gosh. A later medical examination found the man had died from asphyxia from blocking the respiratory system. As his face was wedged. You mustn't laugh at dead people like this. A later medical examination, the man died from asphyxia from blocking the respiratory system as his face was wedged into the mattress with the woman sitting on his neck, losing her legs so he could not lift it. The wife strangled the husband to death with her buttocks after drinking too much alcohol, reported Life. Wow. Apparently she had no intention to kill him. She got 18 months corrective labour and ordered to pay £2,000 in moral damages. Moral damages? What's that then? Moral damages? That's a new one. That must be something they just have in Russia, perhaps. Vera says, I just can't picture it. What a way to go, eh? Gosh, that's awful, isn't it? Rumble Bumble in the house. Good evening, Rumble Bumble. Evening, Chris. Another black mark for me as I'm late again. Oh, you better have a whipping. Hang on a minute. You're very, very naughty. Very naughty, Rumble Bumble. He says, is there so many good things to watch on the telly? Please go gentle. Okay, well, I'll go gentle. I'm a bit behind with stuff. I want to watch... I've watched half of last night's Holby City. And poor old Mr. Hendrick is self-harming, isn't he? Ah, I like him. See, I like him. And I tell you what surprised me on the Holby City, Fran. How is it Mrs. Majeri, right, who is supposedly done for stealing from the hospital, is now working back there again? That just wouldn't happen, would it? It just wouldn't happen, that. Of course, she didn't do the thieving. It was her son. She's protecting her son. I wonder if that'll come out in future episodes like that. Very strange and mysterious, I think. Holiday time. Anyone going on holiday? Now, I've often said this to you. Always go and try and book a package holiday. I know a lot of you like to do it on the internet. You like to do your own thing. Book your own flights. Of course, if you've got somewhere, you're staying with family or something like that, then that's all you've got to do. So you might as well do it yourself, right? But if you're doing a package like a hotel and flights, the problem is, and car, say you're hotel, car, flights, and all that business. The problem with that is, if you book that all separately, if something goes wrong somewhere, I don't know, the car blows up, the plane is delayed, something like that, you've got to sort that out. Because if that plane is delayed, you've booked, by a day, right? You book the hotel, okay? You've still got to pay for that day, right? If you do it through a tour operator, a whole package, so they book the hotel, the car, the flight, anything else on there, right? If something goes wrong, they have to sort it out. So I think it's Hayes Travel now. Hayes, we've lost the travel agent, by the way, in Bracknell. I noticed that the other day. I was walking through the town centre. The travel agent's gone. Hayes, and of course they only just took over Thomas Cook. They've had that was bad luck, weren't it? They took over Thomas Cook. A few months later, everything's closed. Coronavirus. Dreadful. And it looks like we've lost the travel agent now in Bracknell. There was only one. Hayes Travel, gone. So now in future I'll have to do it all on the internet, which I really don't want to do. I quite liked going into a travel agent, sitting there with them and working it all out. Well, you just tell them what you want, and they sit there and work it all out for you. Wonderful. I went to loads of places like that. Florida, Israel, Barbados, St. Lucia. Just walked in there. I'd like to go to St. Lucia, please, on this date. And we would like to fly this way. We'd like this sort of hotel. And then to sit there and work it all out with you. And you just pay them your money, you walk out, it's all done. Someone's done the work. Now I'm going to have to sit here and do it on my own. Sod that. Mind you, I have done it before. Certainly with the Australia holidays. They have to be planned. If you ever go to Australia, you want to go for 3 weeks. Minimum 3 weeks. Right? And while you're there, you will be travelling internally in Australia. You have to do it by plane. They do a couple of sleeper. I gather there's a brand new train in Australia, like a sleeper service train, which is very good. But generally, you would fly from Sydney to Canberra, Canberra to Melbourne, Melbourne to Cairns. You fly, and you need to sit down, over a period of time and work out, right, this is when I get there. That's when I'm leaving to go there. Book that flight, book that hotel. I have done that. And it requires some effort. It does. But if anything was to go wrong, you've got to sort that out then. So you've got to get it right the first time, But old Martin Lewis, he's well known for money advice, isn't he? Does his show on the telly. He's a bit of an odd character. I think I'd like to be in a room with him. He's a bit odd. Martin Lewis, he says, if you're going to book a holiday in 2021 now, get a package deal, and Martin Lewis is explaining why, and he's probably going to say the same as what I said to you. Martin Lewis has spoken about the best ways to guard holiday bookings from COVID problems over the summer, giving 3 tips to avoid disappointment. And you see, this is the thing. There's a lot that can go wrong at the moment, a lot. We don't know this latest Indian variant. I think old Boris was saying the other day, wasn't he? They're very confident that the vaccines that we're having will ward this off. There are still people out there who think it won't ever affect them. They are still out there, believe it or not, or they've seen all these people dying on the telly. They're still willing to take the risk, right? But what can you do? You can't but you can't reason with them. They've made it up in their own minds, and that's it. But there's a lot that I think that can go wrong with holidays. Even with the Indian thing, how do you know something's not going to come out of, France? The French variant. Which, if you get that, 99% chance you will die. That could come along. It hasn't yet. We don't know. This Indian one seems to go to infect more people easily, but it doesn't seem to be killing people any more or any less. I don't know. If you've had the vaccine, you're pretty all right, Don't just rely on the vaccine, though. Do other stuff as well. Still read your mask. Still wear your mask. Still take 2 steps away from people. Still wash your hands. Or you get some of that little spray stuff you put up your nose. Viralese, it's called. You can only get that from Lloyd's Chemist at the moment. It's 15 quid a bottle. I've got some for Friday night. That'll be going straight up my nose, dear. Little psst, psst, like that it goes. But we don't know what's round the corner. Something else comes along, suddenly your holidays are cancelled, and it'll be up to you to sort it out. Not if you've got a travel agent involved. They sort it out for you. It says, Martin Lewis, it comes after the ban on foreign travel from the UK was lifted this week, with British people allowed to travel abroad for non-essential reasons for the first time this year. Strict rules and regulations still remain in place. But it says it means that a lot of people looking to organise holidays abroad should book with caution. Martin's got some advice. The first tip, the most obvious, the customers should make sure they're well covered with travel insurance. Honestly, the people that go on holiday, in particular to America, they go on holiday to America with no travel insurance. You must be out of your tiny minds to go to America with no travel insurance. Because if you get ill, and it can be the most simplest of things, perhaps like a broken arm or something like that, and you end up in hospital, they'll fix it up for you, no problem at all. Thanks very much. That's £75,000, please. And you'll have to sell your house. You won't get out of it. Or worse. None of us know if we're going to have a heart attack in the next minute, do we? It could happen. I could sit here tonight and have a stroke. You just don't know. Holiday, dealing with other stuff as well, like deep vein thrombosis, that sort of thing as well. Aren't you? You must. The people that go and, even to European countries, I don't know if we're still covered with that E15 certificate anymore. I'm not sure that we are. I know that we have reciprocal agreements with some countries, i.e. if you feel ill, if you, as a British person, fall ill in Australia, I think is one of them. They'll look after you there, basically. Similarly, if someone Australia is over here and are ill, they have agreements. So you will be looked after here. But that's not every country. And people just go, well, I feel all right, I'll go. I mean, how blooming stupid can you be to go on holiday and just think you'll be all right? No one seems to think ahead. It's beyond me. It's in particular America. You never ever want to go to America and not have really good quality, comprehensive travel insurance. And that's what Martin Lewis is saying here. He says, as the financial experts stress, the majority of policies will cover customers if they catch COVID before they go ahead, meaning they're no longer able to travel. But you want to check it. You've got to check it. Most, though, not all insurance will usually cover you for COVID cancellations if you catch COVID before you travel or the NHS tells you to self-isolate. That means you can't go. So if the NHS says you've got don't go on holiday then, because if you do and you get seriously ill, that insurance ain't going to cover you. Thank you very much. £100,000 gone. Please sell your house to pay our bill. Martin also points out with pains to point out that insurance is unlikely to cover customers if travel restrictions change. So you've got to keep an eye on that as well. He urged viewers to get a European health insurance card. If they're going to Europe, which should be free. So maybe that still does work, the European health insurance card. As long as one of the countries in Europe, don't be silly and think that's going to cover you in America, because it's not. I know that's pretty obvious to some of you, but you wouldn't believe the amount of thick people that ring up radio stations. I've got a European travel card. Does that cover me if I'm going to India? No, mate, it doesn't. The second tip was to try and ensure that the booking is flexible, as it possibly can be. He suggests that package holidays offered strong protection. Like I say, if something goes wrong. He added the ability to cancel or change a booking is so important right now. Package holidays, often from travel agents or travel firms, have strong protection. You've also got the ABTA thing. You know, if one of the companies goes down and you've just spent, I don't know, £200 on £10,000. Some people spend tens of thousands of pounds on holiday, the rich people. In fact, to go to Australia, I did for 5 weeks once. That cost a lot of thousands. But I'd saved it up, and I spent it. I went to Australia and I had a good time. 5 weeks was a little bit too long for me to be away from work, to be honest. He says, he went on to say, you should be aiming for free cancellation. So again, when you're booking these holidays, check your cancellation. Finally, Martin urged people to pay on plastic and book via a credit card, because then you get protection. I always advise people this, right? If you're going to buy something expensive, do it on a credit card. You get extra protection. Something goes wrong and you can't sort it out with the retailer, or in this case a holiday firm, the credit card is jointly liable for payments between just over £100, so £100 and a penny, okay? You must go over the £100, right up to £30,000, you're covered. All right? So that's the advice from me and Martin Lewis there, gang. Travel agent, package holiday, that's what you want. Vera writes, I noticed since Monday, some of the people coming into Sainsbury's have stopped wearing masks. Are they challenged at all, Vera, as a matter of interest? Are they challenged at all? What do you reckon? I know it's difficult to challenge people with who are not wearing masks. Oh, I've got a disability. I don't have to tell you. And you know damn well half of them haven't. I think that was the most ridiculous thing. If you've got a disability, I think you should have to prove that. I really do. And I hate to say it, there are people in America, I think they became wise to this, who used to go to Disney and hire a wheelchair when they didn't have anything wrong with them, just to get to the front of the queue. I know, it's disgusting. And that's why they should be proved. I think you should have a card or something like that. Yes, I've got this. There's my card. Okay, in you come. No one else knows, only the person on the door. What's the problem? Because there's too many people in there and they just use the excuse and there's nothing wrong with them. Like these damn people claiming the benefits. They're claiming all these benefits and there they are working on someone's roof. Or I'm not talking about proper disabled people here. There they are working on someone's roof or underneath someone's car. Council house paid for, money coming in, council tax paid for, discount on the water bills, discount on the electric bills, priority this. Nothing wrong with them. Makes me sick, it really does. A couple of texts. Fran says, it must be the script. It must be... Oh, hang on. What must be in the script, darling? The script. Do you mean the terms and conditions? Do you mean the terms and conditions on the old medical insurance and all that, terms and conditions? Rumble Bumble says, with me. What's he say? Oh, why is that? I think you sent the same text again. I think you sent the same text again there. 2126 and 2142. Is there something wrong with the text this morning? I don't know. Vera says they are given the option of a mask to wear, so they don't have to wear them. There are some shops I know that insist on you wearing masks, aren't there? I think Audi's one of them. It says you can't come in unless you've got a mask on, which is fair enough. But they stand out there, don't they, pleading that they've got something wrong with them. I can't wear a mask. Oh, crap, that is. Listen, I had the mask on last night, right? I had a mask on last night, and I was singing into this microphone. I tell you what, and when you're singing, you have deep breaths in, like that, right? There was no problem at all breathing with a mask on. It's in your head. Anxiety. It's in your head. Nothing to do with medical at all. Anyway, there we are. What else have we got? Let's have a look here. Oh, look who's... you're going to be pleased with this. Guess who's going to be back on breakfast telly? Bill Turnbull. How happy has that made you? Well, I would have been happy if it had been Frank Boff or Selena Scott. Bill Turnbull. He was on BBC Breakfast for years. Well, In the Sun, it says Bill Turnbull will reunite with Susanna Reid next week as he steps in to guest co-host Good Morning Britain. You watch the ratings shoot up on that one there. He's nice. We like Bill. He had, didn't he have testicular cancer or something like that, didn't he? I don't know how well he's come from that. He's 65 now, believe it or not. When he was hosting BBC Breakfast, I must admit I didn't watch it. In that period of time, I was working all the time, so I never got up there early. This is before the morning chat shows, actually. I don't think, even when we're doing the morning chat shows for a number of years and then reach on air, of course, now, he hasn't been doing breakfast. That was before that. I think later on there. Well, let's take a call. George Bond's on the line. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
All right. How are you today?
Yeah. Fine.
How's your nan?
She's fine.
Is she?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a disability.
Right.
I've got learning difficulties.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I go to my work, where I go to, I've got a lanyard to say, can you bear with me? I've got a disability.
Yeah, so you got something to prove that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no problem with that, is there, George?
No.
You don't mind having that on? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you don't necessarily have to have something showing everyone. You could have a little card with you or something like that, couldn't you, I suppose?
Yeah.
Mind you, you'd probably be able to buy those on a black market, you know. Someone would make up cards on their computers and start selling those, I suppose.
Yeah. Sometimes I tuck it in if I'm doing anything like woodwork.
Oh, yeah, I should think so too. Don't want to get that caught up in a chainsaw.
No. Yeah, I reckon what's up with your Hoover is a fuse box.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's something to do with that fuse, the breaker.
Yeah, because we used to have exactly the same thing with our shower.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, someone used to have a shower. 5 minutes later, it used to switch itself off.
Okay.
We used to go down the cellar. Because when it trips, it drops. Then you have to flick it back up again.
Yeah,
so you have to go down the cellar.
With my one, the buttons. With my one, the buttons are down. They're very, very old. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, ours is.
Yeah,
but ours is the switch.
I wonder if an electrician would come round. Would he be able to test that thing to see if there's something wrong with it, or do they just change it and hope for the best? I wonder.
He'll test it.
Right.
Yes, but ours you have to switch it back on. Nothing. And lucky enough, we have an electricity person just over the road from us.
Oh, that's handy, isn't it?
Yeah, so we called him over and said, yeah, it's your fuse. Because we have it's the same fuse box, but it's separate with our shower.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, you just need to change. And he went, there, done it.
There you go. Easy, wasn't it?
Simple
I think
that.
I would need the whole fuse box change. It's really old. I should have taken a picture of it and showed you earlier on, but I haven't done, unfortunately.
But our fuse box, when you because you can take the fuse out.
Yes.
And there's like 2 screws.
Right.
And if you unscrew them, you can actually change the fuse.
Oh, okay. A little bit like the old ones with the wire in, and you usually just pull them out. And they had little different colours on them. I think they were blue, red and white little dots they had them on these old fuse boards. Something like that. Now they're just flick switches. But, one of the flats that I have had to have a new fuse. Every time the blooming electric man goes round there for his annual certificate, he says there's something wrong. I'm not convinced there is, to be honest. But one of those was a fuse box, and it's all very modern now and flick up fuses type things. They got little buttons. You push the button and it tests the thing and it goes off. Very clever.
Yeah, ours needs changing because ours has got a crack in top of the fuse box.
Oh, has it? Well, that could be dangerous, couldn't it? If you put your finger in there, George, don't do that.
Lucky enough, someone's put some tape over the top.
Right.
And our electricity man said, it'd be all right for now, but I would change it.
Yeah.
So my man needs to get because funny enough, our electricity man's called George as well.
Oh, is he? Will
Yeah,
he come and do
he-
it for you? I don't know how much
he's
something
from-
like that'd be a couple of £100, I would imagine, something like that.
He's from Ukraine or something like that.
Where?
And Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Yeah,
Yep.
something like that. And he said, I can't do it because I'm not trained enough to do it. But he says the landlord said if you win what your landlord, he
Yes.
should get a electricity. Like
Yes, 'cause-
EE? Is it
Yeah,
EE?
because not anyone's allowed to do electrical work anymore.
No.
Nothing, actually, not even putting a socket. You have to have someone specially with special certificates and all that now. You as a homeowner, I couldn't now. I mean, I did years ago because we could do it then. I can't. I don't think I can even change a socket now. All illegal. You have to have someone come in and do it. You know, at
You
enormous
really have to
expense.
change socket now.
I don't think you can. I don't think you're allowed. I'm sure you're not.
I used to have to
You
change
did it, did you?
sockets.
Oh my God, blimey. Well, I hope you were careful not touching the wires, dear.
Seriously, I did.
Well, you could do back then. You could do a few years ago.
Yeah.
But more
Well,
recent. When I say recently, I don't mean like yesterday. In the last few years, the law has changed, and you can't do any of this electrical. I mean, you certainly wouldn't want to touch any gas stuff. You have to have all certificates to make sure that you know what you're doing, because there were too many people dying for electrocution. I've electrocuted myself a few times in the past. Not recently,
Well,
but in the
actually,
past, I have
I've
been
still
electrocuted.
got-
And my God, do you notice it when you get that jolt go through you?
God, I've been electrocuted once,
Have you?
and I've still got the scars on my hand where I got electrocuted. Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing. Was that a very long time ago, George?
Yeah.
What, were you a little boy at the time?
Yeah. What happened was my PlayStation blew up,
Right.
and I've always told if it blows up, unplug it.
Right.
And I unplugged it. Of course, the electric's still on overnight. Ow!
What
And
did
that
you
was it.
touch the end of the plug, did you?
Yeah.
Right, yes. I mean, I used to find that with the Hoover.
Yeah.
If I not the one I've
Yeah.
got now, but if I unplugged the Hoover and my sort of finger touched the plug socket, I think it holds a little bit of electric in it. And I used to get a minor shock off that, not a big one. But I've had a couple of big ones where I've accidentally touched something. Not recently, when I was much younger. And yeah, people die. You know, people die, especially if you sort of electrocute the back of your hand.
I
At
know
least,
they do.
yeah, but the thing is, if you electrocute like the back of your hand, you can pull your hand away. If it's this hand, what tends to happen is that you then grab the wire like that and you can't let go because the electric does something to your muscles, I gather. Not a good thing. Not a good look being electrocuted, George. I mean, just imagine being in an electric chair. What a way to go that is. Apparently your eyes pop out. Did you know that?
Yeah.
All right, George, nice to talk to you. Have a
No.
nice evening. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye now. There we are, George calling in there. Lines are now closed. Thanks very much for your phone calls tonight, boys and girls. If you call now, you'll get an answer phone and no one will answer you. If only you'd called in earlier. Oh dear, I wish I had. But we haven't quite finished yet. Vera says, don't touch anything. Your DIY is not good. You know that, Vera. You know that. No, seriously, we're not allowed to do any sort of electrical work at all anymore. You have to get a bloke in to do it. Or a woman, of course, or a woman. And on that sort of subject, talking about electricity and gas, I think all the heating's going to be electric soon, in a sort of some sort of form, whether that be sort of storage radiators. I know the flats that I own have storage radiators in it. I have air source heat pumps up at the caravan, which are okay. I do actually have one of those in my bedroom as well now. You may remember there was a special offer going on somewhere back in January. And these heat pumps, basically I got it as air conditioning, but it does heat as well. And I have to say, it's wonderful. You know, if it's a bit chilly at night now, you know, you don't want to turn in the heat, start heating the whole house up. Just before I go to bed, I put that on for like 15 minutes. And it comes on and very quickly that room heats up. But of course, you know, this is a house, insulated. In the caravan, it's okay, unless it gets really cold. I noticed this last week while I was up at the caravan. I was only there for a couple of days. But nevertheless, it was, at night time, it was chilly. Do you know what I mean? Chilly. It wasn't 0 degrees, right? It was chilly. And I'd put this thing on in the living room and it coped very well. The problem is when it's really cold. When it's outside the caravan and it's minus, right? It has trouble then. It does have trouble filling that room with heat because there's no insulation. You know, the heat comes on, it stays in that room very quickly, disappears out through the ceiling and the walls around the caravan. In that room, it's fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. But gas boilers, you've got a gas boiler, I'm sure most of you have got gas boilers. They're going to disappear at some point. And in the Sun, it says gas boilers should be banned from 2025. So like 3 years' time, 4 years' time, to help the planet save from climate change, says the International Energy Agency. They reckon the step is one out of 400 necessary for the world to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, according to the Intergovernmental Organisation. And the way they do that is with electricity, you see. You know. It's all very well. Sometimes these blooming doom and gloom people, oh yeah, but look at the coal we're using to use electricity. Wind and solar can't make it all the time. Well, we know that. That's why you've got to have a mix. No one's saying that wind and solar can replace coal and gas yet, but it will do in the future. Nothing is instant. You can't say, right, let's turn off all the coal stations, all the gas stations, and we'll just do solar and wind now. Oh, hang on a minute, we've only got one wind turbine, which isn't blowing at the moment because there's no wind, and the sun's not out either. You know, you've got to have a mix. You've got to have a mix of different things, so that maybe the wind isn't blowing, but the sun's out. The sun and the wind are now, okay, let's do it through waterfalls. That sort of thing. Biomass. Things like that. But at some point, all this heating will be basically electricity. It will be, like I just said, storage heaters, elements. That's a dear way of doing it, though. Or ground source or air source heat pumps. I've got air source ones where I am. Big fan on the back, okay? One of those units draws about 800 watts of electricity. That's in comparison to a fan heater, which would be drawing 2,000 watts. You don't need to understand numbers, except to tell you that the air source heat pump is using less than half the electricity of a fan heater. So they're very efficient. But in really cold weather, they do struggle a bit, I must say. This company said this organisation, the IAEA, said no new fossil fuel boilers should be sold from 2025 except where they are compatible with hydrogen. So I believe there's a hydrogen boiler out there somewhere as well now. Only one that someone has designed. In the future, new homes will instead be required to have low carbon alternatives such as electric heat pumps. The ground source heat pumps are a thing as well. Now, they're different. So the air source heat pumps, I know a lot about this stuff, right? The air source ones, that's where you've got a big fan on the back, like an air conditioning unit. And it will do both, right? They're marvellous. If you've not got air conditioning, when you have air source heat pumps put in, you will also, as long as you ask them, it will also do cool air as well. Fantastic. For the same price. A ground source heat pump is where they dig up your garden. You've got to have a fairly big garden though, right? And they put in like a tube, like a metal tube like that, going like that. And it feeds back into your house. And it sucks heat out of the ground. Very clever. I don't know if, I would presume in the summer it would suck cold out of the ground as well. I don't know how that works actually. It also says the new sale of petrol and diesel cars around the world should end by 2035. Well, we know that's coming. You know, in actual fact, I saw a Citroen advertised, fully electric Citroen. I think it was something like 270 miles on a full charge. So they say, you know. But, I mean, in the middle of winter, when you've got the heating full on and your lights, driving at night, I don't know if it would still be 279 miles then. Okay. But they were charging that £2,000 deposit, £379 a month. It's not bad, is it? That's not bad. That's actually less than what I am paying at the moment. Although I'm hoping when I change cars, when's this one due? 2019, 2021, 22. So 22, it's about a year's time I'll be up for changing that car. I'm hoping that it will be, well, it should be worth a lot more than they said it would be because I've just not been doing the mileage. So I'm hoping that what I pay out comes down. And it goes on then about global warming and all that. It says, how will it affect you? Well, the warning comes out that gas boilers are set to be banned in all new build homes from 2023, 2 years earlier than first announced. The government will decline to confirm to The Sun whether it will adopt the IEA recommendation. So is that a European thing, isn't it? They reckon you'll have two options. If your boiler breaks down after 2025, you may find that you have to replace it with one of the below options. And it says there, you know, heat pumps, ground source pumps, something like that. Lastly, gas boilers could be upgraded to work with decarbonised gas, such as hydrogen, it says. Low-carbon heat pumps and networks could add £5,000 to the cost of a new build, and due to often involving underfloor heating and larger radiators. Yeah, you've got that underfloor stuff as well, haven't you? One option is scrapping gas boilers and instead using a heat network that pumps hot water and air through pipes to warm homes. So you could do it communally as well. In actual fact, where my nan lived, Nanny Ryan, she lived in a block of flats, and their heating was communal there. There's probably gas somewhere at the bottom, you know, one room with gas, and it fed all the flats. So maybe something like that, I don't know. Obviously not with gas, though. You could just use electricity to warm homes, it says. Storage heaters instead of radiators, yes. I quite like the idea of the converting your gas boiler to run on hydrogen. It says when replacing a gas boiler, it could cost you between £5,000 and £2,500. Low carbon heat pumps and networks could add £5,000. So it's dear to do when you do it. It's £5,000. Yeah, who's got that to spend? It says replacing a gas boiler with an air source heat pump could save you, though, £1,300 a year on the heating bills, according to rated people. So they say it's cheaper than that, don't they? Shania, hello to Shania. Good evening, Shania. Sorry being late, been busy at church. That's all right, Shania. If church is involved, you don't need any punishment whatsoever. I did talk about a punishment earlier that some woman gave her to her husband. Can't go back on it. You'll have to watch the replay later, darling, all right? Maureen says, thank you, Chris. I found your spare channel on YouTube. Okay, try that tomorrow morning, Maureen, okay? So, try that tomorrow morning, Maureen. You see the karaoke channel on there as well, Maureen, so you'll be able to watch that last night. I know you're stuck there at home, my darling. And once again, we will try, and on my spare YouTube channel, going to try and put the radio show on there tomorrow. I don't know. It might be chucked off very quickly, or we might just get the old say you can't monetize this and everything else is fine. I don't know what will happen with that. So I'll just try it tomorrow and we'll see what happens. If I can get it going, I'll get it going. If you join it before 9 o'clock, you're likely to hear silence, okay? Because I'm not picking up reach and sending it out. It's coming from me and going to YouTube and reach from me. So the beginning will probably be silent, although I might have the opportunity to say something. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. All right, Maureen. If it's not there, it's just not possible to do it. All right, so we'll see that. Okay, gang. Thanks very much for your messages and your emails today. Much appreciated, and you watching the show. Of course, we will be doing an extra show, another show. At the moment, we're down to 2 a week at the moment because we're starting the karaoke. All right, on Friday night. So the next chat show will probably be with you Monday night, maybe Sunday, because we're going to switch as well to go Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday soon. All right, but not quite yet. So the next chat show probably on Monday, maybe Sunday. Just have your little notifications bell switched on there, and that'll be fine. Okie doke. That's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll see you again tomorrow morning at Reach On Air. There you go. I'm there tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Don't be late, 9 till 10, reachonair.com. If you're not doing anything later tonight, my very good friend Alan Ross is on Reach tonight. He's there at midnight this evening, okay? Going now to have a nice roll. I can't decide whether I have a sausage roll or just marmalade and butter. I'm kind of going with the marmalade and butter. Feeling lazy. But I certainly won't be ordering anything from Uber for a £10 delivery fee. No, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio. Oh, it's not happening.